Hi, everyone. I want to continue my conversation on belonging to the hobby of amateur radio. 2.5 months ago, I just earned my amateur radio license. And I have a video that right after my first communication with someone on the radio. Very exciting. Since then, I've had six um, communications with someone, which is not a lot, but it's a good start. And I think one of the reasons why is, as a beginning ham radio operator, I still need to learn the lingo, the protocols, and how to communicate with other hams. And I think that's the big message in this 2.5 month process. But since then, um, I have looked at three different clubs. One club in particular, I spent almost 12 hours during field day, which was awesome. And in these club meetings, you'll find um, that there's a lot of history and pride in those clubs. And you'll find very intelligent and thoughtful people. And that's one thing that is very, very pleasing and great, because there are a lot of people that are willing to talk to you and give you an idea of how to operate your your radio, sort of. um, some do not have the particular brand, and they're really helpful in terms of giving you the concept. But so far, I haven't had a, a club that really is like, let me program this for you. Not yet. And I think that's something that I'm looking for. Um, I have three antennas now that are for the outside. I have a Comet GP3 mounted at home. That's a 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands, and it does very well. I'm in Southeast LA, and I'm able to communicate all the way to, with that antenna, to the Palisades, which is pretty far away, more than 14 miles probably, and I can also communicate the other way, which is very close to the Santa Monica um, mountain range around there. So with that one antenna, because it's high enough and it's able to propagate throughout the city, that's pretty awesome. And because it's able to travel that far, the signal, it can go to a repeater and then even go farther. I have two Dr. Ed Fung's antennas. I have the DBJ1 and 2. The one is, he gives you the end caps. You buy a PVC pipe, a specific PVC pipe, and yeah, the wire goes in there, and it's a portable antenna. Very useful, very good actually, and tuned very nicely. Though the SWR, it's a little misleading on these antennas. They're tuned at specific frequencies, not the whole range of frequencies. And I'll get to talk about that later in another video. The roll-up one is really nice. I really enjoy that. Um, Very interesting how it's put together. That one doesn't need a cover or anything. You hook it up on a tree, and it has better SWR in my experience, in terms of looking at the graph. And I do have a video for the DBJ1. It's SWR profile in 2 meters 7 and 70 centimeters, and also even at 1.25 meters. What else? I've been, again, listening to a particular repeater called the Wind System. And you can look it up at WIN system on Google, and it'll tell you what frequencies to listen to. It's helped me in terms of language. And let's see if anybody's on.
Hey, fine business, fine business. Okay, take it easy. Have a good one. 73 City.
There you go. Look at that. Most of the time, there's people talking, and you can listen. It's good to listen to conversations and to get the lingo down. Another thing that really is exciting in going into this hobby is that there is a lot of math, a lot of science, a lot of physics, actually, some chemistry too. Um, and there's also history, language, which is also communication, and human skills and friendships. I mean, these are all these things are in there, and there's a lot more, because in the ham radio community there is a lot of things going on in terms of how people communicate with other people, and sometimes even using different technologies in the ham radio arena. You're able to communicate with people. One thing that's been happening so far in the last, well, I think for a long time now, watching some of these videos easily for the last 2 years, is a 2 meter band. A lot of people, before I received my license, a lot of people were talking about how 2 meters, not a lot of people are utilizing it, and that's because of disrupting new technologies in the forefront, and also 2 meter band, a lot of people think it's just for those beginning amateur radio operators. But at the same time, about less than a week ago, there have been people very concerned with an article that came out in ARRL about how the 2 meter band, there might be a reallocation of the 2 meter band in Europe. It's an agenda item that might come up for some conference that they're going to have in a couple of years. And they're thinking, a lot of people are like, what will happen if they do reallocate those bands? Will it be affected here in the United States? Well, my understanding is that there's some bands that Europe doesn't have that we do. So at the moment, a lot of people are concerned, but at the same time, what I didn't know is that the 2 meter band has its own allocation. Parts of the 2 meter band are allocated for certain things. Let me see. I have it right here. 2 meter band. I got this from the ARRL .org site under band plans, and the 2 meter band has things specific frequencies for CW, weak signals, and SSB. Something called Oscar, which I really don't know. FM repeater inputs and outputs. Weak signals on FM simplex, which is very interesting. And there's of course miscellaneous and experimental modes. That's something that probably I'm going to be using a lot. And simplex specific frequencies, which, again, these are best practices, things that I think as a new ham operator, I think a lot of them and a lot of us are surprised that there are allocations within the 2 meter band. Yes, I probably did read it somewhere when I was studying for my license, but applying that knowledge is something that's I think the most interesting part of this hobby, in that you get to learn things, and most of the time, 99% of the time, maybe 95% of the time, people who are in the amateur radio community are really engaging in positive criticism when you do a mistake. It's unfortunate that there are some people that are a bit bitter or a bit upset when people don't use the right protocol. But those people, you really don't, you shouldn't take heart what they say. But those people that do help is a cool thing, because it allows you, it helps you not drop the hobby. So you might hear some noise right now because the train is coming by. I'm still using a Yaesu VX6. It's a tri-band. So far, I'm really liking it. I'm not using the 1.25 meter band. I want to, but apparently not a lot of people are using it. Okay, so that's it for now. I'll be seeing you later. Bye-bye.